Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, we are obviously oot and a boot. We are going on an adventure. We're going book shopping, and I will tell you all about it as soon as you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. Yeah, y'all, we're going book shopping, but of course, since it's us, it can't just be us going out book shopping, right? There's got to be drama. So let me tell you what's up. First of all, let me slow down before I get us a ticket and add to our drama. So the intern this morning, in his internally friendly ways, was getting ready to leave for work and said, "What you got going on today?" And I said, "Oh, I got to teach some classes, got to do some workouts, got this and that. Then I'm going to go shoot some video. I'm going to go to the bookstore and take my friends with me shopping." And he kind of looked around like he was going to say something. And I said, "What?" And because, you know, he doesn't understand. He doesn't seem to understand that there are folks who read books and then there are folks who buy books. Now, I'm a folk who reads books and buys books, but I like buying books, which I discovered the other day because my friend Grimskull, who is a gamer, he like games online, and he was talking about how he has all of the, which I was only half listening because I was actually reading a book while I was watching his stream. But he was talking about how he has all of these games that either he's never played or he's never going to play. Okay, I wasn't really listening, but it was something about buying a bunch of games that you don't play or not going to play or something. And he's like, "Does anybody else do that?" And I was like, "Oh, I do that, but I do it with books." So the intern gave me this look and I was like, "What, dude, what is your damage?" And he said, "Well, you know, I get it. You know, you want to go buy books, but what about this pile of books that you have on the dining room table that you keep saying you can't do anything with because you have to go over them and haul them with your friends? Why don't you just haul those instead of hauling yourself around buying new books?" I was like, "What? Okay, fine, whatever." So I didn't say yes that I was going to do that instead of going book shopping. So I'm not actually like breaking my word, but I think maybe he thought that that's what I said. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go book shopping. We're going to this little local bookstore called Zenith Books, for which I have a gift card that I got for Christmas from the intern's mom and stepdad, which thanks y'all for that lovely gift. So I'm going to go spend that. And then kind of sort of on the way home is some thrift stores. So we might go thrift storing and see what they have for us for books. Then we'll go back to the house and we'll haul all the books. So since we need to do the hauling of the books at the house, I can't really take y'all with me in to do the shopping of the books because then this video would be like 4 hours long. So I'm gonna go shopping and then we'll do the hauling, and then another day we'll do the actual book shopping together. But yeah, today we can't do the shopping and the hauling because it would just be too much. So let me go to the bookstore. Let me go to the thrift stores. If anything exciting happens there, I'll let you know. But otherwise, maybe I'll check in on the way home and let you know what's up. So for now, let's just go to the bookstore. All right, I'll see y'all. I don't know. I'll see y'all at some point. All right, y'all, bookstore one is done. And look, it's this cute little, I ended up having to park on the street. So it's this cute little Zenith bookstore. And I have to tell y'all two things that just happened. Sorry, I got stalled turning my camera back around. I have to tell y'all two things that just happened before we go to our next stop. And I know we're in a hurry, y'all stop it. So one, I was walking around listening, like I was shopping and listening to a book. And I'm not going to tell you what I was listening to, but something so shocking happened in the book I was listening to. So I was looking at a book on the shelf, and something so shocking happened in my ears that I looked up and went, wait, what just happened? Out loud, in a fairly elevated, shocked voice. And the people in the bookstore kind of looked around, like looked at me, and they kind of looked at each other like, should we intervene here, or what exactly is happening? So that happened, which caused me to then wrap up my book shopping adventure here and, make my way out of the store, which is a good thing because y'all, there is something about this bookstore that causes me to buy books that are like longer than my life. Just, I don't know, because I think they're beautiful. Remember, this is the same store where I bought Priory of the Orange Tree, which I haven't even cracked the cover of. So then today I've never even heard of this book before, A Day of Fallen Night. What does that even mean? I have no idea. But of course it's by the Priory of the Orange Tree people, because look, it looks the exact same. It was probably the same place on the shelf that Priory of the Orange Tree was when I bought that. So yeah, Priory of the Orange Tree. Which I've yet to read. So, and I don't think they're associated with one another. So, and I think Priory of the Orange Tree has some second, we got to go. I can't even sit here and talk to y'all about this, but so we're gonna get out of here. I have a little bit more time. We're gonna run to the thrift store and see what we find there. And once again, I should just say this, if I embarrass myself there, I'll come back and let you know, and otherwise I'll just see y'all back at the house. All right, so let's make our way. All right, y'all, slight change of plans. So we went to the Goodwill store, got some books. Well, then I realized I forgot to eat lunch and I got to go potty, and my class that I'm supposed to have 6:30 Thursday night got rescheduled for 6:30 tonight. So y'all are looking some weird way. So I got to go home. So we're done with our thrifting for the day, but we got a good little run. We got some books, and now I'm not going to say I got to smuggle them into the house, but I got to smuggle them into the house without the intern seeing that instead of taking away books, we've added books. Y'all remember in the bird cage, don't add, subtract. Well, that was the plan for today, was subtracting books from the pile on the table. Well, now we're adding. So we got to get into the house and get these books into the pile or maybe I'll just move the whole pile somewhere without the intern seeing, so that we can haul them tomorrow. So I'm going to go for now. I'm going to do the things. I'm going to, do the job, and then I will see y'all tomorrow and we will haul all these books. All right. So y'all have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. And is that from the Truman Show? Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye. All right, y'all, we have made it to the house. It is the next day. I worked out, I did a bunch of things, and now I'm ready to haul these books. Can y'all see this little felon? I'm gonna have to make him go away, but I was trying to figure out how to do this, not make the felon go away, but like some sort of order in which to haul these books, because y'all, it's kind of a lot. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna try to go in reverse chronological order until we get into sort of just the mix of the thing, and then we're just gonna go at it. So, mister, you gotta go, move. So let's start with, first of all, let's start with our last stop from yesterday, where I got these fabulous pences. Oh, sorry. Look, they have pockets. Yeah, I got me some comfy pants, because y'all, in reverse order of things that I need the most, it's hoodies. I need those the least most, and then comfy pants, or maybe t-shirts and then comfy pants. So I got me some new comfy pants. I know, I said least most. What does that even mean? It means I got me some new comfy pants. So, mister, go lay down, go. Now this furry felon's down here. The other furry felon's going to want to come. So I got these at the end. Look, I got on my old man comfy pants and my old man bedroom slippers. I am both styling and profiling. Y'all don't judge me. All right, let's do this. Comfy pants from the thrift store. Let's talk about books from the thrift store. So I got True Colors by Kristen Hanna, because y'all, who's not up for a good Kristen Hanna-ing? This, I think, is about, and y'all, they all blend together in my brain, especially since I just bought it off the shelf at the Goodwill because it was a Kristen Hanna book that I thought I didn't have. I'm pretty sure I don't already have this, but I believe this is the one where the sisters lost their mom when they're young, and then now they're grown, and something happens that like pits them against each other or something. So doesn't sound like that's going to be sad at all. So we got this. I got The Land of Mango Sunsets, that I think is about a woman who gets, like the old trope, the husband leaves her for the like super young lingerie model or something, and she ends up befriending this like adventurous, like troublemaking young woman, I think, and they get into all kinds of shenanigans together. Y'all, if anybody's read any Dorothea Benton Frank, let me know. I know nothing about her. So got this one. Got a David Baldacci book, The Collectors. I've always said his name Baldacci. Now I realize it's an A. This is the second book in the series, and I don't know. It's some kind of, I don't know, dudes with political power doing dudes with political power things. I've really wanted to read at least one of his books. I'm probably not going to start with book 2, but I couldn't resist this gorgeous hardcover. Look at this. So I picked this up, figuring that at some point I could find book 1 and maybe read one of them. So I got that. So those are the thrift store finds. And then y'all saw one of these. And I can't even fake my way through knowing what this is, because, so that was the thrift store. Before the thrift store, we went to the actual bookstore, and I got The Day of Fallen Night, which I showed you in the car. No idea what this is about, but y'all, look how gorgeous it is. I know you saw it in the car, but look at this. So beautiful. I really need to start The Priory of the Orange Tree, although I don't think they're related at all. So I could just read this one instead, because it's really prettier, but whatever. I am judging a book by its cover, but y'all, look at this cover. I am ensorcelled. All right, anyway. Speaking of judging books by covers, this is why I should not shop for books in person. Because 1, I get all overwhelmed and just randomly start buying stuff. And 2, I really do just buy face outs that are pretty. I got The Mountain in the Sea. The Mountain in the Sea. Look how pretty. So this, I believe, this kind of gave me Project Hail Mary vibes. It's about octopi. I don't know if they become sentient or if people just realize that they're sentient. And I believe, look at this, y'all, seriously, look at this book. It's just so pretty. But I believe that the people like either try to learn to communicate with the octopi, or they're communicating with the octopi, or there's some kind of like taken over the world by the octopi. I don't know, but look how pretty. It's so pretty. And Leigh Bardugo, I seriously need to say no more. I got The Familiar, which I was not going to get. I walked past it, like walked in, saw it sitting there, and I was like, oh, look, how cute, a Leigh Bardugo book. I was like, oh, that looks terribly dark. I'm not going to get that. Y'all, look, seriously? And then I got to thinking, and I was like, wait, who are you even, look at this, y'all, seriously. Like, who are you even trying to kid that you're not going to buy a book? Can y'all see that? It's like imprinted. It's black on black. It's just gorgeous. Can't even finish the sentence with myself. Like, who am I kidding? Trying to say I'm not going to buy a book because it's dark, especially a Leigh Bardugo book. When I devoured Ninth House, didn't even realize how dark it was because I loved it so much. And then, yeah, so got this. I believe this is some kind of period thing, like 1700s maybe account, something, I don't know what happens. I don't know. But yeah, something about a familiar. My friend Allie is reading this. I believe she's reading it right now. So Allie, if you see this, let us know how much you love this book, because I don't doubt for even a second it's going to be fantastic, because I love Leigh Bardugo. So those are the books. How did I even forget? Y'all, I got this with it. Can y'all see that? It's a bookmark and it's wooden. And I got it just because I bought the familiar at a bookstore. I don't know if you get it like if you buy it from Amazon or somewhere, probably not. But let me do a quick little commercial now. I'm certain that I paid more for each one of these books that I bought firsthand at the bookstore than I would have if I had, I'm looking at this because it looks like my pages are crumpled, than I would have paid had I bought them on Amazon, or certainly if I had bought them secondhand. And y'all know, I am a huge shopper on the secondhand market, but I'm also a huge proponent of supporting local bookstores. And that's a locally, like a privately owned local bookstore that we shopped at. So I was willing, I mean, I paid significantly more for at least the familiar I looked at. I know how much it is on Amazon. I think I paid, well, I paid a little more for this than I would have, but it's okay because it's important to me to support the local bookseller, because it would break my heart if they went out of business. So that's what I did. Now, let's talk about books that I did not buy at local booksellers firsthand. These are all secondhand, and these were in the mail yesterday when I got home. So I got the book, The Good Part, and y'all, I think this is one of those that was like $2.98 on BookBub or Pixel of Ink or one of those. And I was like, oh, that, you know what? It might not even have been. It might have been actual, like a few dollars. Like it might have been a real price, not like the super cheap, like $1.99 or something. Because yeah, this is a more recent, this is a 2023 release, but it looked so good I couldn't help myself. So it's called The Good Part. And I believe it's about the main character who makes a wish to jump ahead to the good part, like she wants to get to the good part of life. And so she pulls like a Freaky Friday and jumps ahead to like she's married and has kids. And that's all I know. I stopped reading right then and was like, I must have this book. So now I have it. Sophie Cousins, know nothing about her, but look how cute. Got that. I got the book, The Fine Print. Y'all, please warn me if I'm fixing to get my heart broken, like planning on liking this book, because first of all, the cover of it reminds me of the actual like print cover of, remember Twisted Love, that I wanted so much to like and just didn't. This reminds me of that. No, it's not the same author, Obvi, but I believe this is about something about, I mean, and it kind of looks like it, creating like fairy tale worlds, maybe amusement parks, like hotels, that kind of like fairy tale. I don't really know what it's about, but I've seen really good, oh yeah, like the chapter pages are roller coasters, which could mean something and could mean nothing. But I've read really good and really horrible reviews of it. So if you've read it and it's awful, please let me know. These I'm pretty sure are on Kindle Unlimited for $0. But I bought the book anyway, because even though this is the year that I'm going to stop buying all the books that I can read for free, today is not the day I'm going to do that. So I got The Fine Print. And I also got Things You Save in a Fire, which is Catherine Center. I've also got, is it The Bodyguard by her? She writes good, strong female leads. And I believe this female lead is a firefighter. The other one obviously was a bodyguard. So I'm excited to read this book. I don't know anything about it other than that the female lead is a firefighter. So look how pretty. It's obviously a library book, so I'm hoping that I can, it's got the library book tape on it. You see that, like, book tape? So I'm hoping I can take off the plastic and save the book cover. Oh, somebody left me some gum. That's sweet. Anyway, got this. Y'all. Why? Why? I bought The Women by Kristen Hanna. Now, if you've been around for a minute, you know that I get Kristen Hanna by Kristen Hanna books. The book, what's the Alaska one? The Great Alone? The Great Alone, is that it? In my head, it's The Great Divide, which is so wrong. Y'all, that book broke me so bad. I was in the bed, and I'm sorry, if you've been around for a minute, you know this story, so I'll tell it quickly, but I was laying down and I was going to read for just a few minutes to fall asleep. I'd been up late. I was doing something. It was well past my bedtime. I had to be up early in the morning to teach. So I lay down. I was going to read a few pages and things started happening. So I kept reading. And I was like an hour and a half into reading. And y'all, the Kristen Hanna-ing happened and it broke me. Like I literally was so, of course I'm bawling. I was so upset. I could not lay in the bed. So I got up and I'm walking around the house. It's like 11:30 at night. My bedtime is like 7:30 because I get up at 3:30 in the morning. So I get up and I'm walking around the house, scare the bejesus out of the intern who thinks I've been in bed and asleep for 3 hours. He's like, "What are you doing?" Literally, I had to walk it off, y'all. That's what we call getting Kristen Hanna. Like something that's so sad that it like changes your molecules. So then I thought it was a good idea to buy a book by Kristen Hanna about a woman who I believe she's actually like goes to Vietnam, like she's in the war. And I think this is about her experiences, like she goes to war and comes home from war. Why? And of course it's amazing and it's gonna be really freaking good because it's Kristen Hanna. So we'll work our way through this at some point. Probably not right now, but we're gonna read it. All right, y'all. So then I got The Unmaking of June Farrow. Now, this was another one of those, I believe this is a BookBub book that I then had to buy the actual book. And now look, I know the point of BookBub is to get books for less money, not to like get a cheap book off of BookBub and then go spend real money on the actual book, but look how pretty it is. So this is about June Farrow, who I believe is a young girl living in like the mountains of North Carolina or something. And her family runs a flower farm, which, yes, thank you very much already. But I think they're like witches or like they're enchanted or there's some kind of something about them. But they're cursed. And maybe there's an like unmaking of the curse. I don't know, something. There's something. It's totally giving me Alice Hoffman. Remember that? What's the oh Bobo, what is that book? The with the witch sisters and the Death Watch Beetle, the Practical Magic. Totally giving me Practical Magic vibes, and I almost didn't get it, but then I was like, I can't not get it because look how pretty it is. So we got that. And we got the Heaven and Earth grocery store, which is something about, I'm going to get this totally wrong. I believe it's like the 1960s maybe, or maybe it's like now-ish, and something, for some reason I think it's set in like maybe Pennsylvania or somewhere, and they are breaking ground, like building a house or something. And they find the remains, like some human remains. And from there we get wrapped up into this mystery. Maybe that's it. Maybe either now takes us back to like they find the remains and it takes us back to the 70s, or maybe it's set in the 70s and the human remains take us back to like a past time. Yeah. Okay, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I believe it's something about human remains that take us back to the mystery of this murder, of how the remains became remains and not a human. I know. I've said this before, y'all. When I talk about these books, I seriously sound like a student trying to do a book report on a book they didn't read. But let me tell you about this one. So we read Project Hail Mary, and I loved it. And when I read this, I said that I was tempted to read The Martian, but that every time I think of the name Martian, I think Martian, like Cher from Clueless when she says Haitians. But y'all, I did it. I pulled the trigger and I bought the Mardian. So I'm just going to have to think Mardian in my head the whole time I'm reading this book. But I loved Project Hail Mary, and I'm going to read the Mardian and just see, because it's Andy Weir. Here's the connection, is it's Andy Weir, same author. So I might, y'all go ahead and judge me. I might have, after I bought this, I might have found the Mardian in hardcover and bought that so that it goes with my Project Hail Mary hardcover. Whatever. I will recycle this back into the, books out in the world. But yeah, I got the Mardian from the onlines. I got some Ellen Hildebrandt books, The Identicals and The Blue Bistro. I know nothing about these, but y'all, there's nothing to know about these. I like her writing. It's very like light and fluffy, and they're quick reads, but I like her characters, and I like how she develops her characters. Like, there's actually something to them, even though, I mean, it's really not like all that, it's not all that serious, and it's not all that deep, but I do like the development of her characters. So I got some of her books. I accidentally got a mass market paperback. I don't like mass market paperbacks, but whatever. Whatever. Apparently I was not paying attention when I was doing the clickings on the onlines. So there's that. Remember my obsession with the book The Deal, which was the hockey player romance book with the hottie hockey players and the smart girl. Those were by Elle Kennedy. So I bought like that whole series, and then I got the first book of another series. Well, so then I got the first book of another series, which is called The Good Girl Complex. And I know absolutely nothing about it, but it looked cute and I got it. So The Good Girl Complex. If anybody knows anything about it, let me know. The Naturals. My 15-year-old best friend, who is not really my 15-year-old best friend, she is my student who claimed that she was not a reader until I got her to read the Inheritance Games, and now, like, I have to stay up at night reading books to try to keep up with her. She decided that we were going to read the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so I bought the Naturals. Ooh, we're almost done. Y'all, this is a ridiculous number of books. I got Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. Remember we read Then She Was Gone, which was so good, like page turner, like edge of my seat page turner. And y'all, I don't say things like that, but I mean, not that I'm not cheesy, but I just don't say, that's not like one of my catchphrases. It was an absolute page turner. I could not stop reading it. So I got this one. This one, I believe, is about a girl or like a female character who has a normal relationship with a psychiatrist or a psychologist, like he's just her caregiver. Well, then he decides that it's time to end their relationship. Like he's going to stop being her provider, and she can't deal. So I think she starts stalking him or following him around or something, and either learns something about him or realizes there's something sketchy about him, about his life, and then she becomes the Invisible Girl. She disappears. So I think that's what this is about. Like, then, we follow that whole mystery of what happens to her. The Hating Game. This is, I believe these two work together. So we have forced proximity, and they hate each other, like hate each other. So they have to see each other every day at work, but like he works for somebody and she works for somebody. So like they don't work together, but they work like in the same place. So they have to see each other every day. And it's I assume it's like an enemies to lovers kind of thing. We'll see. I don't know. Y'all know how I love those, though. And it's obviously a rom-com. So we got that. Y'all remember a long time ago, we read a Christmas book where the spirit of Christmas, like, comes to life and ends up fake dating our main character. Was called like The Magic of Christmas or something. Christmas Magic. Would be really cool if I knew that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the author. Be really cool if I knew any of this about this book before we started talking about it. I'm pretty sure this is the author of that book. And y'all, I loved that book. It was silly and cheesy. Like, it started off with, for some reason, somehow the character ended up playing All I Want for Christmas Is You backwards by accident. And that, like, brought this, it wasn't the spirit of Christmas. It was something. And then that, like, became his name. It was like the holiday... It was some kind of Christmas thing, like the holiday spirit or something. And his name, that became his name, like Hal or Hall or something. Anyway, it was super cute, super cheesy, super fun, and I loved it. So I got this book based strictly on that. And I believe, so these two are engaged. And they have this like fairy tale, like romance engagement. And they're like super close, like not long out from their wedding at all. And the bride-to-be is miserable and she wants out, and I don't know what the details are, but for some reason, whichever one of them breaks the engagement has to pay all the bills for like the wedding, for everything that they owe. So she figures out that he's also miserable. So they start this prank war, each of them trying to make the other so miserable that they're willing to break the engagement and pay the bill to get out of it. So it just sounds so cute. I might read this soon. But so there's that. Boy Swallows Universe, another one of those. Came up on BookBub, had to buy it. Look at the cover though, so pretty. Something about this boy has a life that's just an absolute train wreck. Like, dad's gone, mom's in jail, has to depend on, like, the only dependable person in his life is a drug dealer. And it's just sort of about how he tackles life, like how he, I don't know what made me think that this would be a good book for us to read, but it just seemed like intriguing and somehow uplifting about how this boy with all of these things against him just, sort of powers through and gets on with his life. So I just thought it would be interesting to read about Boy Swallows Universe. Then some more lighthearted stuff. I got Wild Love, which I believe is a boy falls in love with it's Elsie Silver. So it's going to be some kind of like, there's some, forbidden love trope going on. And I believe this is the best friend's sister one. Like, this is the new one. Like, this just came out. And I think it's, boy falls in love with best friend's sister. So we're going to give this a shot. I got Bookshops and Bone Dust. Y'all remember how much I loved Legends and Lattes, which is it Viv? Is that her name? Viv? Vi, the orc that I insist on calling an ogre all the time. She's an orc. That's her. Look how hot she looks. But I was going to say when last we saw her, but I'm not going to tell you anything that happened when last we saw her, because y'all, I'm not spoiling Legends and Lattes for y'all because I loved that book. But it was low stakes fantasy, which people critique because nothing happens, and really kind of nothing happens. It's all about like relationships. Some things happen, but it's like all relationships between the characters. It's not high stakes where like, you're riding around fighting on dragons and your characters are like, your friends are going to die every time you turn the page, which it's a nice thing. You're not exhausted when you finish reading the book. So I'm very excited to get back to, I can't remember her name. She is my friend, but I can't remember her name. Viv? I don't think that's right. Violet? It's not Violet. That's dragons. I'm going to go with Viv until I get back into this, and then I'll tell y'all what her name is. And then I did that thing we do where we buy multiple books in the series. We read Things We Never Get Over, Things We Never Got Over. Loved it. Lucy, y'all know I love Lucy Score. So that was the Knock 'Em Out Virginia series where our main character goes and ends up sucked into her crazy twin sister's world. Fantastic. Absolutely loved it. So I got, I think, Things We Left. I don't know which one's next. Are they numbered? They're not numbered. One of these is next, and then the other one is next. Things We Left Behind and Things We Hide from the Light. I love Lucy's score, y'all. And these are like tomes, like they're ridiculously long, but they go so fast. Like I read Things We Never Got Over was like this thick, and I read it in maybe 4 days because one, I couldn't stop reading, and they're just super quick. So I got these, and y'all, that is it. Now I need to get these books picked up off the floor and put somewhere before the intern gets home. I need to do a workout, and I need to eat lunch. So I'm going to get out of here. So come here. Y'all let us know if you've read any of these books, if you recommend any of them, if there are any that I need to stay away from, if I need like, not trigger warnings like real people trigger warnings, but like crying, snot bubbles, ugly crying trigger warnings, let me know, please. All right, and which ones you love, which ones you don't love, what you're reading, let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. We upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.